Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Let's take a look at the headlines. The Highway Patrol Unit has swapped its colors for the yellow, blue and white Battenberg style. 2013 Diwalinagar off to a great start. President Anthony Carmona has become the University of Trinidad and Tobago's newest Chancellor. Thank you for joining us. The Highway Patrol Unit has swapped its colors for the yellow, blue and white Battenberg style as it looks to make known its visibility along the country's highways and byways. National Security Minister Captain Gary Griffith launching the 50-something new vehicles says the aim is to reduce the number of road fatalities while ensuring citizen safety.
You've seen these new blue and yellow vehicles parked along the highway. The new Police Highway Patrol vehicles rolled out as part of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service's move to reduce road fatalities. 50 of the new vehicles were handed over by National Security Minister Captain Gary Griffith as part of a rebranding of the Highway Patrol Unit. The markings seen on the vehicles are commonly known as the Battenberg style, which is used in the UK to increase visibility of traffic patrol cars and civil emergency services. Minister Griffith says areas expected to be patrolled and monitored at all times include spots that have a history known for accidents.
In keeping with the breathalyzer test and these vehicles, and very soon to be launched the implementation of the radar speed guns, it would go a long way to reduce road fatalities. But there are several steps towards turning around the statistics of crime and the perception of the fear of crime in our country. The launch of this rebranding of the Highway Patrol is just one of several steps towards that goal, but it is an important step. This Highway Patrol Unit that is being revamped is not the same old, same old. Too often I've heard about anti-crime plans of more police, more patrols, more roadblocks. That I continue to state that is what is called standard operational procedure. What we have here, it is not an SOP, but it is not a cosmetic system that is just designed to show visible presence. But through the Commissioner of Police and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they did their homework. This is a scientific process whereby these vehicles will be used to maximum effect, not just by driving around the country, but specifically pinpointing the areas of responsibility that require effective and high-profile visible police presence.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says increasing visibility will redound to citizens feeling safer. She adds that it is more than road patrols, as it adds security and aids in the fight against crime.
As you may well know, I travel very regularly north-south route, so that the visibility of this highway unit was not visible, if I could put it bluntly. And so it was not because the police was unwilling to do the patrols, but it was brought to our attention that one of the greatest obstacles to that greater visibility was the shortage of the vehicles. And so Commissioner has mentioned to you the move to acquire about 450 new vehicles, this first batch of over 200. Yes, we want to deal with crime. Yes, we want to bring the statistics down. But the greatest joy, I think, that would come from this and the other projects that you have would be giving our citizens that greater sense of security and safety. So there's no point in being told that the serious crime has come down by 1/3, or the murder rate has come down, kidnappings are down. No point if people still feel very unsafe.
Statistics show that road fatalities have increased substantially over the years, and it's the job of the police service to reduce this number. Acting Commissioner of Police Stephen Williams says effectively curbing road deaths requires boosting the highway patrol.
We have identified the need for lifting the visibility and impact of the Traffic and Highway Patrol branch. Today marks the formal launch of the rebranded, highly visible, and we are very hopeful, highly impacting, not only by the presence, by the effect of the Highway Patrol branch on Trinidad and Tobago. We've had a challenge around roads policing and the number of fatal and serious accidents over time, and we intend to cause a major change by driving down 2013 and into 2014 the number of fatal road traffic accidents in Trinidad and Tobago.
The aim of these new vehicles, Minister Griffith says, is to ensure citizen safety is made paramount. He adds that under his watch, making this a reality will happen through strategic changes in the police service and protective services.
This is not Trinidad and Tobago. This is a country that we intend to turn around crime. And what I ask the citizens is to feel and the same comfort, the same support that you get when you go abroad and you see those blue lights, you hear that siren. Know that they are doing this not for anything else, but to provide you with your fundamental rights of safety and security. So you must feel good, feel comfortable, and know that the government is doing what is required. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they are doing what is required. And that is to provide you with that right to safety and security.
While reducing road deaths and providing these vehicles are part of the wider crime-fighting plan, other initiatives will see the introduction of container scanners for the Customs Police Division later this year, and the working of the Highway Patrols Unit together with the Rapid Response Unit to also be introduced by the end of 2013. Kimduram Kalawan, News 4.
In other news, this year's Diwalinagar got off to a great start and promises to continue the upward trend of growing from strength to strength as years gone by.
Each year, thousands of locals and foreigners flock to the Diwalinagar for the major celebrations in the lead-up to Diwali. This year was no different. Diwalinagar, translated to mean the City of Lights, has had a long history in shaping the perception citizens hold of the Festival of Lights and of local Indian culture since 1986, when the first Diwalinagar was held at the car park of Mid-Centre Mall. 3 years later, in 1989, the then government donated lands to the National Council of Indian Culture for the promotion of Indian culture. It was in 1991 that the first Diwalinagar was held at its new home, located just off the Uriah Butler Highway, Shogunas, where up to this day it still hosts large crowds of supporters and curious onlookers. The theme of this year's week-long Diwalinagar is Sri Krishna Purna Avatar, which celebrates Lord Krishna as the 8th incarnation or avatar of the god Vishnu. On Saturday night, Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Prakash Ramada, visited the Diwalinagar, where he spoke of staying true to morals, values, and spirituality.
In this era where we connect by the internet with more and more people, we are disconnecting from our heart and our conscience. We are disconnecting from the values that our foreparents brought and have taught us. And our pundits, our imams, and our priests tell us. But we start believing that these are issues that you could put to the side and deal only when you're in the church, in the mosque, or in the mandir. Not understanding that we must exercise these lessons and this wisdom in every day of our lives, in every sphere of our existence. It is important for us to know these things and to realize it. Because I repeat, without knowing it, without realizing it, we will not achieve the purpose of life.
The Honourable Minister stressed that citizens should not fall victim to materialism, but hold fast to achieving their true purpose in life while staying clear of detractors and temptations.
And these are the things that are common in Hinduism, in Christianity, and indeed Islam. Why do we forget that in our everyday lives? Whether you're a doctor, lawyer, politician, taxi driver, a wakaman, wherever you are, whatever you do, ensure that your duty is done with a purpose of life first and foremost in your life. That we must understand the rules of karma, that you will reap what you sow. And these are universal laws that cannot be avoided. There is no shortcut to it. And the comforts and luxuries of life that you believe are important will be the very millstone around your neck as you proceed, eternally bound to materialism, not being able to rise to your true potential of humanity, which is that to attach with godliness and to escape the pain and suffering of death and birth and death and birth.
This year, the Diwalinagar runs from October 24th to November 1st, while Diwali will be observed nationally on November 2nd. Nicola Edwards, News 4.
When we come back, the Ministry of the People and Social Development launches another senior activity center. Stay with us. President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Anthony Carmona, has become the University of Trinidad and Tobago's newest Chancellor. Upon receiving his oath, the President called for the introduction of critical thinking as part of the school curriculum nationwide if we are to develop strong, resilient leaders.
The University of Trinidad and Tobago installed President His Excellency Anthony Carmona as its newest Chancellor. His Excellency expressed his pleasure in becoming the newest Chancellor of UTT, an institution he describes as young and vibrant with the capability of transforming our nation. However, he called for a transformation of providing education towards developing critical thinking among students.
Critical thinking will build capacities for not only recognizing problems, but finding workable solutions. It will build a culture of the importance of prioritization and establish an order of precedence in problem solving. It will interpret data, appraise evidence, and evaluate arguments, drawing warranted conclusions and generalizations, and will finally lead to the rendering of accurate judgment about everyday life. Philosophy, therefore, is the art of clear thinking, but philosophical understanding also calls for action.
He added that making UTT a #1 educational institute across the world has become one of his mandates upon taking on this role.
My functions are not merely limited to the conferment of degrees. As Chancellor, I am both ambassador for and advocate of the UTT. My focus is directed mainly outside the walls of our campuses, raising our profile and advancing our interests throughout the nation of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as beyond our shores.
The role of Chancellor means providing sound direction in leading the university. Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training Fazal Karam says these are the characteristics found in His Excellency President Carmona.
The position of Chancellor brings with it an expectation of commitment to the university's mission and strategic direction. As a matter of fact as well, it involves a passion for education, an unwavering dedication to lead in a way that is inclusive and enabling. His Excellency's vast leadership experience and admirable level of interpersonal skills will no doubt establish confidence and inspire UTT's students, alumni, faculty, and staff as they work harmoniously to further develop the university.
His Excellency says the provision of education at UTT has made many inroads in TNT's tertiary education and skills sector.
The charge that I have been given and which I accept today to be your Chancellor is not one I will take lightly. Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are among some of the most fortunate in the world in that we live in a country which provides free undergraduate tertiary level education. Today, there is no dearth of institutions offering instructions at the tertiary level, and the UTT therefore finds itself as one of the many available options. In such a climate, it is imperative that the UTT set itself apart and hold its own as a unique high-quality option within our educational landscape.
While UTT was established in 2004 and created with the energy sector in mind, the university has since then branched off into humanities and social sciences, creative arts and other areas. Minister Karam says this is reflected in the MOUs signed on with other international-based institutions with the sole aim of improving the quality of studies offered.
UTT has formed a series of strategic partnerships and alliances with leading universities and agencies. Among others, recently signed memoranda of understanding are with the following institutions: the Pandit Dindyal Petroleum University, the PDPU of India, to collaborate in faculty and student exchanges, joint research projects, and other areas. Memorial University, Newfoundland, Canada, for the advancement of marine education and training through staff and student exchange and program development initiatives. the Sheridan College Institute of Technology and Advanced Learning Canada for the integration of practical training with academic application into the area of animation studies.
Kimberly Calawan, News 4.
The Ministry of the People and Social Development has launched another senior activity center through its partnership with the interreligious organization.
Senior citizens of Penal will have another place to call home within their community as the Ministry of the People and Social Development launched the Penal Senior Citizens Activity Center. The center, which opened on Friday, is situated at the Jiwan Sudar Ashram Oneness Center, and according to Dr. Glenn Ramadar Singh, this is one of several such centers across the country.
The Ministry of the People and Social Development have indeed built 8 senior activity centers in the last 2 to 3 years. But those have taken a long time because you have to acquire land, you have to rent, you have to lease, and those things cause a delay. What we've done is recognize that the differently abled, the elderly, those who need activity centers such as this, the challenged, are already attending places of worship. So we partnered with the interreligious organization, and so they volunteered some names, and we gave them an idea of different parts of the country. And Swami here was able to rise to the challenge.
Minister Ramadar Singh explained that there were already a number of activities taking place at the ashram, and his ministry's latest project would only enhance the wide range of activities offered there. He spoke of the many non-communicable diseases that affect senior citizens of the area and noted that the initiative would help them with their medical conditions by physical exercise, as well as expose them to technology by means of the new computer room.
Senior Activity Center will engage our senior citizens. It will get them involved in computers, it will get them involved in the dance, it will get them involved in the karate, in the meditation, and I'm sure from strength to strength they will build into sports, physical activity, gymnasium, and this seed that we have planted today with the help of the corporate community, the business community, and the following that is here from Penal and in other parts of the country may springboard us into a wellness center where the elderly will be cared for, they will be engaged, they will be activated, and life can begin again at 60.
The Honourable Minister believes that how senior citizens are viewed is equally important as the facilities they are provided with. He said if they are not treated with love and respect and properly cared for, the project would not succeed. Swami Bhagwantam Das expressed his pleasure at the launch of the centre at his ashram as he thought of the possibilities that could be derived.
Today is wonderful. It is a history in Penal here today to have a center of this type established. Well, I have been involved in social work, humanitarian work, even from quite the age of 18, a very early age, where I was made the head of a religious group. And from then on we went from village to village, spreading the knowledge and giving human values and helping people to uplift their life. And from then on there was no stop. I continued to move forward further and further and to reach as much people as we could.
He said over the years, the Oneness Centre was unable to complete or even embark on a number of projects due to several constraints. But with the ministry's intervention, he believes this is now possible. The activity centre is to serve both as a social place and a place where the senior citizens over the age of 55 could exercise and develop healthier habits. Minister Ramadar Singh is calling on the wider public to show interest in the project and contribute in any and every way possible. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Sport is up right after the break. Stay with us. Fresh from their triumph at the Blink B-Mobile National Super League Knockout Tournament, Club Sando got back to league action on Sunday with a game versus Wassa FC. And as you will see in this Wayne Cunningham report, winning is becoming a habit for the Southerners.
Wassa FC has a proud record in the National Super League with multiple league and knockout titles ladening their trophy cabinet at their St. Joseph headquarters. But the team coached by Anthony Dandulal has fallen on lean times in 2013 with only 1 win and 3 draws to go with 8 losses in the first round, which puts them second from bottom on the league standings. On Sunday, they met league leaders Club Sando and went in search of a much-needed win. But it was the newly crowned knockout champions who threatened first, their captain Tiba McKnight hitting the crossbar just 4 minutes into the match. 3 minutes later, Sando disturbed the woodwork again. This time it was Kemuel Rivers hitting the upright with the free kick. The Wassa goal was under siege. And it was only a matter of time before the goal line of Michael Woods was breached. The goal came on the stroke of half-time. Karen Smith left alone to nod in the header in the 44th minute. The Wassa defender going down untouched to give Smith the free header to make it 1-0 Club Sando at the half. 2 minutes after the resumption, it was 2-0. Anthony Paris poking in the loose ball. Andre Phillip battling well to get the ball to Paris, who gets it past Woods. Sando did not come off the gas, but their shooting was poor as they looked for number 3. Instead, it would be Wassa hitting the net. Kareem Freitas scoring in the 79th minute. Freitas chipping well to beat goalkeeper Alexi Julian and cut the deficit. Freitas had a chance to draw Wassa level, but Julian had other ideas. He was determined to keep his team's lead and did it with some fine saves. Club Sando maintaining their slim 1-point lead on Guaya United with a 2-1 win over defending champions Wassa FC. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
As we wrap up, staying with football, Member of Parliament for Tabakit, Dr. the Honorable Suraj Ratan Rambachan, has launched a constituency football league under his patronage. Gasparilla youths captured the first prize in the March Pass on the league's opening day. All matches are being held on the newly installed lights on several grounds throughout the constituency of Tabakit, where the 12 teams who are participating will be competing for over $20,000 in prizes. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 Report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.